What's good people, and welcome back to the channel here on Crewboy Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast, episode 95, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. We're talking some Broadway today, and the continuation of the Harry Potter story from Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2, continuing that story years later. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing very well. Glad to be back with you, doing another episode with you, another video with you. Thank you for everyone that is watching, that is listening. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that is following on the podcast feeds, Spotify, and everywhere. If you like what you're hearing and seeing, consider following me on the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast. Hit the follow button and subscribe button here on YouTube. And so, yes, we're talking some Harry Potter today. I know I'm going through the rewatch series with the films, but today I'm talking some Broadway. This story, this performance I just seen, it is directed by John Tiffany. Now, this story does involve the original author of the books, J.K. Rowling. She has written this story along with Jack Thorne and John Tiffany. That's what we're talking about today. So this takes place years later. Harry, Hermione, Ron, Malfoy, and everyone else, they are now adults. And they all have kids. First of all, Harry Potter is the head of magical law enforcement, then becomes head of ministry in this story. Hermione is the minister of magic. Consider that leader of the government, a governor, president. And then Ron, he runs a joke shop. Ron and Hermione, they are married in this story. Harry and Ginny are still married. They have 2 boys, and Malfoy has a son. The story centers on Harry and Malfoy's kids, the 2 boys. The name of Harry Potter's kid is Albus Servius Potter, named after Dumbledore and Professor Snape. This actor is portrayed by Adam Grant Morrison. Now, this had a slow start for me, only for a few minutes, and then it picked up right away. Also, this is not a musical, meaning there is no singing. Nobody's singing a note in this performance. So this is the essence of theater. It is straight up dialogue. It is blocking. It is choreographed dance with the robes, almost like cape movement, but without any singing. And then also, I couldn't even see the conductor. I think I saw the conductor, or maybe he or she was out of sight. Because I can see them in the orchestra pit, but I did not see them in this performance. And this story, they are adults in this, and we're focused on Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy. And the essence of this story, they are using this device, which escapes me, going through time and trying to bring back someone back to life, which I can't think of the particular character's name right now, but he is the character that died in movie number 4 in the Triwizard tournament that was portrayed by Robert Pattinson. And so that is what they were trying to do, jumping through time, changing certain things, going to different time periods, where there was one time period where Harry Potter died and Voldemort was ruling and evil was present and all was good with the Dark Lord. And so different time periods that they were jumping around to fix. And again, Scorpius Malfoy and Harry Potter's kids, they are best friends. And Malfoy's son is the complete opposite of Malfoy. They don't hate each other. He's not constantly trying to get him. And he is the opposite of his father. And then in terms of Harry's son, He is the typical teenager. His father is famous and he is not his father, and he's resentful of that and trying to forge his own path. And they're constantly fighting, as teenage boys do with their fathers. And so that whole relationship goes on a journey. And for me, one of the standout performances, in addition to the Scorpius Malfoy actor, which is portrayed by David Fine, he was excellent. But really, it was the actress that played Moaning Myrtle. And her name is Mackenzie Lesser Roy. She was excellent. She came on halfway towards the end of Act One, and she was only in Act One in terms of that character. She also played Harry Potter's mother as well. But what she did and how she did it and the way she did it, she really, truly channeled the essence of Moaning Myrtle, the original actress that played Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter movie number 2 and the other films. And her name is Shirley Henderson. And she got the voice down, the movements, the mannerisms, just everything she was doing. And then also, she was in the girls' bathroom in terms of on stage, but she was on this steel round turntable like device that had a hole in it for them to portray them going down on the sink. And she was constantly turning around in it. And then she was just full on in character. And she was just amazing. For the short time that she was on stage, everyone, I heard people around me talking, they just really enjoyed her performance when Act One ended. So great job to Mackenzie Lesser Roy. Her previous works, she was in, this is only her second Broadway show from the information I can find. She was also in The Tour of Once back in 2016. She also was on the show Rise, the TV show that was on NBC back in 2016. Unfortunately, got canceled. I did watch that show. I did like it, but she was on that show. But yeah, she was amazing, as well as the actor that played Scorpius Malfoy, David Fine. He was great. The whole cast was great. Another thing that was great, and trying to figure out how they did it, was the magic on stage. Because when I first saw this play announced, I was wondering, how are they going to do the magic with the wands and the things coming out of the wands? And they had some magical battles with their wands, and they were on the side, they were moving up, they were down. And then at the beginning of the performance, there was a lot of luggage choreography, and they had these 3 actors kind of appear on stage like right away out of nowhere. Now, normally you would say, yeah, they just came up from the stage, but you couldn't really see that. Obviously, the lighting in some instances were dark, but a lot of times, the lighting was not dark. For them to kind of appear that way, and then there was a bed sequence where Harry and Ginny was not on the bed. They brought the bed on stage, and then they just appeared. I don't know how they did it. I was trying to focus on when they were doing the magic and the magical battles, and then having the fire coming out of their wands. I don't know how they did it. I wish I knew technically, but that was just really, really great in terms of the magic of the show. I'm sure there were some wire works, but then the way they were moving and how they were moving so fast, it didn't seem like it would be wire work, because if they were, you would bend or twist the wire. And so just the way they were moving. And then also some other technical things. They had the Dementors come on stage during that time period where they changed time, where Harry Potter was dead and evil was ruling. The sound of the Dementors, and you know how they sound in the movies. And just to hear it live in that theater, it was amazing, with the sound effects, as well as them physically moving up and down. It was excellent and creepy as well. Also, the stagehands, the choreographing with the stairs in terms of having those moving around, it was seamless. It was flawless. A lot of practice, a lot of rehearsals went into that. So just really enjoyed the show. And the time jumping, it made sense. And the story made sense. They even went all the way back to when Harry Potter was right before Voldemort came to try to kill Harry Potter, when then, obviously his mother repelled him with the mark. And then they also witnessed Harry Potter's parents being killed, and they had to let it happen for the events to have what ultimately happens. And then we were able to hear them talking in terms of what was happening during that. And so the sound effects of the actors playing Harry Potter's mom and dad and Voldemort, it was great. It was excellent. And the lighting just lit up the stage, and you saw the pain in Harry, and everyone there was surrounding him to relive and see that again. It was just a great time with this show. Again, no singing involved with this. There was great robe choreography, I would say, and luggage choreography. That is always difficult to do choreography with a prop. So great job with everyone involved, specifically the stagehands moving things, and just, I don't know how they did the magic. I wish I knew. I wish I had orchestra seats, but I don't know if I was even going to be able to see it. But I just thoroughly enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the story. And also they weaved in things from the movies in terms of story beats, like mentioning things like the Triwizard Tournament and mentioning things that happened in different movies and bringing back different characters like Dumbledore, like Professor McGonagall, and them also channeling the essence of those characters, of those actors, Professor Snape. So it was just a great show that did not involve singing, and it was just an excellent show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you get a chance to see this show, I would highly recommend that you see it. And I'm trying to see what else do I want to say about it. Just a great all-around performance. Just really, really great. Different choices that they made in terms of the casting and the kids, the train, the magic, and also the time jumping that went from year 1 to year 2, year 3 with the kids fairly quickly. Just I guess that's all it's going to be for this episode. I'm just trying to remember, but mainly just the on-stage magic. I don't know how they did it and the way they did it, but it made you believe like they actually did the magic, and the way they were moving and floating and jumping and moving the chairs like in the air and whatnot, and the tables. As they were moving it with their wands, they were moving the books and kind of flapping the books as well. As you would flip a page, as you see like a comic book that kind of flaps and you see things, they did that with those big books, and then the talking of the books and the moving of that. The technical aspect of this in terms of how they did and the way they did it, I don't know how they did it. I wish I had a production featurette to see it. There was kind of one that was released prior to this show coming out. I did watch it, but the guy didn't really give too much information away, which he shouldn't. So, magician never reveals his secrets, as they say, as the saying goes. But yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I guess you can see my excitement for it. So that's it for this episode number 95. Of course, I have the Harry Potter rewatch series going on right now. I just released another one talking briefly about movie number 4. I also have movie number 1 and movie number 2 on the channel. I have a playlist for that, so you can check that here on the channel. I'll link that in the description. And I also have other Broadway shows that I have seen. Have a playlist for that. I'll link that in the description as well. So if you like that kind of detail, you like Broadway talk, consider subscribing to the channel here on Crewboy Productions, and Crewboy Productions presents Nerdy Notes, where I have my shorts. Also, you can follow me on the podcast feed. Just search for the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast, and you can follow the podcast there wherever you get your podcasts. I am also on TikTok for shorts. Just follow me at Nerdy Podcaster 124, as I do put the shorts on there as well. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, you got something out of it, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, great vibes, and until next time, we will talk soon.